Peace and blessings to everyone worldwide. We're just getting started on the live. We're doing a impromptu live stream. All right, so I'm gonna start going. We're gonna start going live. Shalom bat yalla. Shalom to everybody coming in from the ministry over there. All right. Now, shout out to everybody that's gonna come in on the vertical live stream, the rowdy bunch a little later. Once everybody find out we live, right? So could y'all please give a like to the video just so that people can find out we on the live stream and they can come on into this live study. All right, now tonight's crazy. Y'all probably seen the thumbnail craziness. I'm going to try to be, so we're going to start to probably go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Before we used to only do Wednesday and Friday, but now we're going to start going, try to do it every Monday. Maybe, I don't know, 8, 9 p.m. Monday. I'll see how that works, right? But yeah, so it's because as the darkness in this world increases, so much the information should increase, right? The information that's out there. So there's so much stuff that's going on, so much darkness and so much info. So I'm gonna be trying to bring you some info that's not all plastered all over yet. You know what I mean? So I gotta kind of be live more frequently, right? So I figure every other day that should be frequent enough. I can't do it every day because we teach ministry all during the week. All right. So tonight's live stream was Epstein torturing Somalians in submarines. I know when some of y'all seen this, y'all was like, huh? Y'all know y'all had the straight Scooby-Doo, right? Huh? Right? Yeah, y'all know, I know y'all said, oh yeah, we need to tune into this one tonight. We gotta see what kind of craziness I'm about to bring out. Oh yeah, it's craziness. So I've been digging deeper into all of the files. Shout out to Yaleen of all this Epstein stuff coming on and trying to give you some of the news that everyone don't have yet, that ain't just splashed everywhere, right? So I got to be kind of early, right? So that's why I got to go live more frequently. All right, so let me do the share screen. Oh no, not share screen. Let me invite my brothers and sisters, present. I'm not sure who's gonna be here because it's an impromptu. I think Hakyama will be here. So hold on, let me click the invite link. Click invite guest, copy, bang, come to the thing, control V. Yeah, I got some clip that most people ain't know. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be bringing info that ain't all over plastered all over the internet. All right, so let me share screen. Let's get this party started, right? So this is our intro so others can find out we live. All right, it's about 40 of us here on the live so far, so we give it time, right? We're impromptu. Usually it'd be about 80, 70, 80 already, but it's, we got to give it. So this is the thumbnail, right? So the thumbnail, hold on, let me get the comments off the screen so we don't cover no info, no real estate on the screen. So this is the thumbnail. So I know when some of y'all seen this, y'all was like, uh-oh, what he about to bring out now? Did Epstein torture Somalians? Huh? Hold up. This is a whole different path going on. But y'all know I got receipts. Y'all know we don't do clickbait, we don't do none of that here. We bring receipts. I got video receipts, I got all type of receipts. All right. So Epstein did he, right? And the title was Epstein torturing Somalians in submarines. Submarines? Uh-huh, submarines. So that's why I made put the submarine in the thumbnail, and that is the image of the East Africa Somalian, right? Epstein, and I just put a general, try to get a Somalian looking dude on there. All right. So yeah, hold on, I think my sister came in. Shalom Hakyama. All right. So now, shout out to Shell Love over there. What's good, Shell Love? Oh yeah, it's a crazy one, Shell Love. We're gonna be in and out tonight. We probably do about an hour and a half, and then back on Wednesday we do the long ones, Wednesday and Friday, right? So on the Monday I might do like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops, and we be kind of in and out. That's in and out for us, right? We got a lot of info. Uh-huh. Come on, torture in the Marine Kingdom sounds about right. Don't it sound about right? So everybody, I got some fruit that most people ain't got out there, right? So as the people come in, let me do a little intro as the people come in, right? See, there was darkness upon the face of the deep. So this marine kingdom stuff ain't nothing new. You understand? So it's this Epstein, these files stuff they're releasing, it's just getting darker, darker, more and more people implicated, and more of these ancient serpent fallen, these fallen empire kingdoms, these wealthy, nasty McNasties, right? Now, before there were cities, before there were empires, before there were these kingdoms, there were the waters. The waters. See, the Bible opens with a warning from the beginning, hidden in plain sight. Genesis 1 and 2 says, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep." See, before light was spoken, darkness covered the waters, right? Now, that detail is not just a poetic. It's not just a filler that the Most High put in there to fill space. Nah, from the very beginning, the waters, the sea, represented chaos, death, mystery, and spiritual forces beyond human control. Y'all listen clearly. These waters is Mayam in the original Hebrew tongue, right? That's the pictographic tongue. And these always represented chaos and even judgment, all right? The land the Most High gave to man to cultivate, to rule the land, to inherit the land. The depths of the sea were never entrusted to mankind. All right, I'm doing this intro so that more we can know we live, and then I got the videos coming, and we're going to expose was Epstein torturing Somalians and submarines. Man, the Most High never created mankind to inherit the depths of the sea. Never. The Most High did not call humankind to master the abyss, not the darkness. There are places in the sea, the Most High said, do not go down to depths of darkness of the sea. We were never called to master the abyss, okay? We were called to subdue the earth, not the deeps of the marine kingdom. You heard? Tonight's teaching ain't about superstition. We ain't talking about nothing superstitious. We got to bring facts. I'm about to bring receipts, and we going to show it all. I got video clips. I got stuff coming out of their own mouth. I got a video clip from Ghislaine, what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey Epstein's his Cody, his right side sugar booger, the sister that's locked up, but they put her in a country club now. Do y'all not know she was that's really his handler? Oh yeah, I got other stuff gonna come out these live streams. Come on, Shell, New York. I got some stuff we're gonna blow the roof off. I know other people bringing out stuff, but I'm gonna be bringing out some stuff too that others ain't got. People looking at just Ghislaine thinking, he was just using her. Ghislaine was that dude's handler. Do y'all not understand? Ghislaine was the one who came for money. Epstein ain't had no money. He was used. He was the boy toy of Wexler. He was being smashed. He was being diddy by the Wexler dude. He was set up. Now, he finished the rollout. He played his position very well, and he took it up to the heights of all this money and power. All right? Now, but he wasn't, Ghislaine came from her dad, Robert Maxwell, working with the what's they call them, people who say they are the tribe of Judah and are not, but do lie. No. Ghislaine, Ghislaine, however you say her name, she was molded from a child from that. And her daddy allegedly was loving on her and stuff from a child. Now, he was groomed, and she was the handler. Oh, that'll be another time. We'll bring that out on another lesson. All right. But listen clearly. I got tonight. You're gonna see a clip of Ghislaine, whatever Ghislaine, I forgot to say her name, right? Out of her own mouth. It's clips that's not widely circulated. Yeah, I got some exclusives, Shell. I got some exclusive to to the rowdy bunch that might come in later. Most people don't know we live yet. All right, we got exclusives that ain't all over the place. That's what we gonna bring y'all. Every time we live, just tune in. I don't care what the thumbnail title say. Tune in. You're gonna get some exclusives, right? So tonight, this teaching ain't about superstitions. This teaching is about patterns. Because across all cultures, across time, across all empires, the same patterns, the same themes repeat itself again and again. That's water power, water, mayam, maritime control. These are the patterns across all cultures through ancient times up till right now. People thinking this new ain't nothing new under the sun. Water power constantly rises again and again. The themes: maritime control, a blood sacrifice, elite priesthoods, and ancient deities, gods tied to the deep, the depths of the sea. Psalm 74 says, Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces. See, the sea is not neutral in biblical language. It is a realm that must be restrained. It is a spiritual realm that has to be understood and restrained by divine authority. All right? So when you look at the world that we live in right now, you see modern governance, right? You see commerce, you see power. All of these things are dominated by maritime law. That's marine kingdom law. These are the laws of the seas. All of these nation states, these kingdoms of all over the world, all these empires, America included, they all are governed and dominated by maritime law, the law of the sea. International trade moves across waters. Global jurisdiction defaults to maritime codes. Even the language we use reflects this inheritance. Words like currency, you know what I mean? Words like banking, the banks of the river. These are all water, marine kingdom language, maritime law, debit, ledgers, the ledge of the, right? The edge of waters, the ledge, credit, debt, all of these things. Deaths, debt of the sea, all words tied to flows and tides and balance, but not land. This is not coincidence. We'll do a whole nother lesson on maritime law. We'll do a whole nother lesson on this, right? This ain't coincidence. It's actually continuity. See, the sea, the maritime waters, the sea governs exchange. That's why they get these terminologies from, and exchange governs their power. Throughout antiquity, the seas connected empires. All the empires who were connected had they would put up their kingdoms on the seabed, ports for portals. That's where you get ports and seaports and channels, channeling, right? Shipping channels and lanes. Do you understand? Throughout antiquity, sea-connected empires, they paired their maritime dominance with ritual dominance. Everybody listen. I'm going somewhere. I'm doing this intro so that others can know we live, and then I'm about to show all of the video clips for tonight's live stream. You heard? So people can know we live. They're coming on in. They're coming on in, right? Now, throughout antiquity, all of these kingdoms who had maritime rule for their laws and their ports, their trades, right? They also paired it with their ritual dominance, their spiritual dominance. They served the maritime marine kingdom laws with their gods. These gods are called Baal. Most of y'all heard of them. Moloch, right? Some call it the Anunnaki, the fallen angels. They have blood rites and rituals. Everybody listen. They have different names, but they have the same demands, these gods. All right? And in the Bible, the Sephariyat that they call the Bible always speaks of it. Jeremiah 32 and 35 says, who built the high places of Baal, to cause their sons and daughters to pass through the fire. See, it always ties in with their marine kingdom water worship with the sacrificing of the little ones. Do you understand? And this is the uncomfortable truth that most people are realizing now. They used to call it all conspiracy theory before. Now I think that everybody in the world owes the conspiracy theorists a big apology. You understand? Because now everybody's acting all shocked. I can't believe that this is happening. I cannot believe that this is happening. Now we about to show this, bro. We about to show a clip. I'm about to tie it all in with this Epstein, Somalia. It's crazy what I'm about to show because it's going to make you say, huh. So the flood of the Somalians and stuff, and you know what is their culture? Their culture, they were the pirates of what? The sea, the marine kingdom, right? Doing sin and transgression. And then you know they're coming over here, and then all of this stealing of the money. There's some ties that's going to be tied in later, right? And as more of these files and stuff come out, right? None of this stuff, all this stuff is looking like it's willy-nilly. Ain't none of it willy-nilly. You understand? Don't nothing that these serpent seeds, these elite bloodline families that go all the way back, right? Ancient Babylon, ancient Sumeria, ancient Acadia, ancient Phoenicia, ancient Ugarit, ancient Kemet, ancient, all these kingdoms, ancient Syrian and Assyrian, they all go back. But it's always have something to do with children, little ones sacrificing and currency and marine kingdom. All right. Now, these elites, what they practice in secret, it never changes. It just takes on a different suit. It modernizes, right? The scriptures warns us that these ancient entities, they never vanish. They don't go away. They just reemerge in a new coat. Isaiah 27 says, in that day, the Most High shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, the dragon that's in the sea. See, end time prophecies does not point upward first. It goes to the waters first. And that's the thing. People thinking they going all up. They be going down into the sea for Atlantis and all that stuff. So everybody, Epstein has something to do with submarines. I'm about to show it. Yeah, we about to show the video clip. They coming on in. I'm about to get started. All right. So for those that I know y'all like, well, get on started then. We about to get started. They coming on in. They coming on in. All right. Now, and all through the scripture, the end time prophecy does not point to the sky first. It points to the waters first. Revelation 13:1 says, I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, not of the land, out of the deep. See, the scriptures repeatedly warns against venturing into depths of the sea that are not assigned to man. In Jonah 2:5, it describes the terror of the deep. The waters compassed me about, even to the soul. I went down to the bottoms of the mountains. See, the sea is not just physical, it's a spiritual death, right? That's why they call it death. D-E-P-T-H, right? Another word, death, D-E-A-T-H, right? Spiritual death. The sea is not physical, it's a spiritual death, unfathomable systems. It is principalities and stuff. You ain't to be going down to no deep, dark depths of the sea. You open up all type of spiritual portals, hidden networks, all right? Now, ancient worship demanded these people, and they continuing it today, Epstein, all of them, the ancient worship demanded them for blood. All right, blood. And modern power demands the same thing, sacrifice, right? The ancient priests hid their rights behind the temples, but today the modern elites, they hide their rights behind contracts, behind laws, and glamour. That's where you get celebrated entities, celebrities. That's why so many celebrities is in the Epstein stuff. So many politicians, so many these contracts, okay? Different language, same darkness, all through antiquity. Now, not every realm is ours to master. Not every depth is safe for us to explore, all right? And when we forget the boundaries, that's when the dark waters take their kingdom and put it on the forefront. Tonight, we ain't diving into fantasy. We about to expose the truth because the darkness over the face of the deep was never eliminated. All right? It's always been here. All right? Let he who has ears to hear, let him hear. Let's get started. I put enough. It's 8:26. All right? So whoever is on the live, okay, good. We up to about 100. All right, let's get started. First clip of the night. All right, Hakiyama, let's go. All right, got enough people here. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to go first clip of the night, all right, because I got a lot to bring out. What I want to do first, I want to bring this one first. Let's do the Ethiopian thing first, and then we'll go to the submarines. All right, so here we go. Was Epstein torturing Somalians and submarines? Did Epstein torture? All right. So now, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the Somalians. All right. So let's go stop share. Right. Then I'm gonna share screen. So I got videos to show and I got clips. I gotta walk this down. So share screen. Bang. I'm gonna do this one first. Let me click it. Click that one, and so that should show up there. Put window. Bang, there we go, share. All right, so here we go. So y'all see this, I'm gonna zoom in and make it clearer. All right, so right here is a wire transfer request form. So these are files from the Epstein. I'm going somewhere. I'm gonna show y'all stuff that some of y'all ain't even seen, right? He would, I agree with you, Daron. Moses will be ashamed. You got that right. Now, right here, wire transfer request form. I got a clearer one, right? And this is from where? The St. Thomas Islands, right? The Virgin Islands. These are from the Epstein files. All this stuff is stuff coming out, right? You see it? 12/6/2018, right? The payee's name, Gemini something Systems, LLC, right? We about to show what it is. All right, it's a little blurry, but I'm gonna make it clear. This is a wire transfer. All right, and what is it for? Let's see. It's for 55 gallons. Let me show the wire transfer. There we go. This is what it's for. 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid with fuel and insurance charge for transportation, materials for conductivity probes, replacement pH and cable. 56 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid. We walking in there. We're going to get to the submarines. We're going to get to the torturing. I'm walking it down. Y'all come on, get in the bus. We going somewhere. Let me walk it on in. All right. Now listen what I'm saying. 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid. This is on Epstein's Island. So y'all see this right here is the wire transfer to get. So what were they doing with the sulfuric acid? They were decomposing the bodies, the victims. Look, are 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid way too much for non-industrial use? Someone put it in ChatGPT, right? You know, the comment section is the kings of the internet, right? Right? And ChatGPT said yes. ChatGPT even said, I agree. 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid is way too much for even industrial use. ChatGPT said, yes, 6 55-gallon drums is way too much for non-industrial use. That's about 330 gallons of sulfuric acid. For normal personal use, even heavy do-it-yourself people use small bottles or at most a single container. Drums are typically bought only by industrial operations, metal processing, mining, battery recycling, and chemical manufacturing because they have the equipment, training, permits, and disposal systems. Sorry, for non-industrial use, right? It's 55 gallons for non-industrial use. Because in the Epstein files, it come out that he had these orders for all the sulfuric acid, right? ChatGPT said, if there's no industrial process, the biggest issue isn't just why, it's that storing that volume of sulfuric acid safely is a major hazard and is usually regulated. All right. And I'm going to show y'all. Right. So the Epstein order that he wired all this sulfuric acid on his island. Right. All right. Here we go. Y'all probably saw some of this. Shout out to Nakia. Y'all probably saw some of this, but I'm going to show y'all clips that y'all ain't see. Let me get through it. If y'all saw some of this, don't worry. I'm tying it together. I'm going to show y'all stuff y'all haven't seen. This says, newly Epstein files reveal a secret trap door in Epstein's house leading directly to the sea. All right. So some of y'all might have saw this in the Epstein files. They came out and they got in his house. He had a trap door that leads straight to the sea, to the marine kingdom. This is the door, right? It's open, and you can. They said that he would dump some of the bodies and feed it to the sharks, right? This trap door, right? Straight in his island, right? Some of y'all might have saw this, right? All right, it's going. I'm tying it somewhere. This one says a trap door which led to the sea from inside Epstein's house in the island. This is section E of his house. All right. Now, someone said, for anyone still questioning if there are tunnels below Jeffrey Epstein's house and buildings on his island, Little St. James, right? But guess what I'm about to expose? Epstein supposedly, allegedly, had secret submarines. Everybody listen clearly. And the submarines would take and transport, just like they have tunnels on the land, he had submarines that would transport them to the different islands through the marine kingdom, the depths of the sea. He would transport these victims, these little ones and all this stuff under his island through submarines. We're going to see, trafficking. Now, we know about tunnels on the land, but these are sea tunnels, all right? And we're going to find out, so who owned neighboring islands by him? Who owned islands neighboring Little St. James in the Virgin Islands? Oh, yeah, what's this? Epstein files reveal a photo of a trapdoor which led directly to the sea from inside Epstein's house in the island. It's alleged that the trapdoor enabled bodies to be weighted and dropped directly into the sea. And they say for the sharks to eat them, feeding the sharks, right? Look at this. Now this is the video. This is the actual Epstein. I got some photos from the files. I got videos. I got stuff I'm going to show tonight, right? We're doing a quick one, maybe an hour and a half. We're going to be here or something, right? But I should have enough. You should get enough info. And then we live again Wednesday with more, right? Now, this is, what's his name? Stephen Hawkins visited. Now, we know Stephen Hawkins, hopefully he ain't had nothing to do with nothing, right? But, he was there too. So this right here, these are the files. And this says, these are all friends, each one wonderfully crazy in their own way. The art world, however, still leads. When Hawking came to my island, these are the Jeffrey Epstein files, right? Shout out to Bushy Broadway, right? Jeffrey Epstein said, these are all friends, each one wonderfully crazy in their own way. The art world, however, still leads. When Stephen Hawkins came to my island and said his dream was to go diving, I duct taped his head to a high-back chair and loaded him in a private submarine. Great fun. All right, guys, everybody listen clearly. And then I got receipts. All right. So now you hear submarine, right? Okay. And look, they're showing Stephen Hawkins. He said one of his dreams. So when he visited Epstein Island, Epstein duct taped his head to a high-back chair and loaded him in a private sub. They had great fun, right? I think this might be that girlfriend, the one he gave. I don't know which girl that is. All right. So anyway, let's continue. All right. Here we go. A secret door leaded to the sea from Epstein's house. It says he would throw his abused victims into the sea from here to feed them to the sharks and get rid of them. Right? This wicked serpent. All right? In the marine kingdom. Now watch this. All right? That's his island. Right? This is a crazy looking statue. I'm going to bring that out another time. I just took a picture of it. That's going to come out on another one of our lives. Right? These statues. Right? Now this is his section E of his house. This is the trap door that leads to the sea. Right? This is another image of the trap door that leads to the sea. And these are, I guess, weighted sandbags or something. They say they would weight the They're alleging that they would wait. Shout out to Steve Mears, that they will wait. Sorry that I can't see everybody in the chat that's coming into to the stream. Right? Shout out to Kev. All right. I just got to focus to get through this. Now, they say, I know it's crazy wicked and so much stuff going to come out, even on this one. I'm starting to get little, what's the name? Goosebumps in my arms, right? The spirit, because it's some dark stuff, bro. Right? So they say these sandbags, they would weight the bodies and dump them and then dump them down to the bottom, and the sharks would just for the sharks to eat, right? Now look, this is inside his house. There go so this is where the trap door is, right? And look all the sandbags and stuff, right? And look all of these chemicals. See? Now remember the receipt I showed with the sulfuric acid, the 55 gallon? So they say that he was allegedly, what's the name in, I forgot what you call that when you put people in sulfuric acid and what's the name, destroy, deteriorate. It's another word for that. Shout out to Aliyada. I'm sorry, I'm saying names wrong. Let me stay focused. Hakyama and everybody in the assembly, y'all welcome them. Everybody, welcome everybody in so I can stay focused. Now, yes, this was so this is his island. So this is the island in the Virgin Islands. This is Epstein Island. So under the island, remember, island is on top of the water. So he had a trap door, right? He had these trap doors in this part of this house, section E of his house. And this, right? So remember I showed y'all earlier all the 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid, right? To decompose. That's the word I was looking for, to decompose the bodies, right? Now look at this. See, this is the same. So he got all these pumps, right? All this. And look, so I think the trap door is somewhere around here because they're the sandbags, right? All right. Now this right here says August 19th, 2020, Epstein Island. Who owns the surrounding islands? Everybody listen clearly. Who owns the surrounding islands? Because Jeffrey Epstein had submarines that will lead them to the surrounding islands. All right? Now, I got some stuff I'm going to bring out about Ghislaine. Ghislaine was brilliant, darkly brilliant. All right? He said this is fake. That's because you part of that stuff. You part of the whole Epstein. Anybody, guys, that come in here and they talk about everything is fake and everything conspiracy, these are these serpents. These are the same ones that's out there worshiping all these devils. All right? Worshiping these devils. So you ain't fake. And that wickedness you into ain't fake. Look. Floor escape trapdoor straight to the sea, found in a chemical and mechanical room. All right? It says, could this be a submarine access point? All right? Now, someone said, who owns the surrounding islands? All right? Watch this. Biden's brother, James Biden, sold unrelated U.S. Virgin Islands land to a lobbyist in 2020. And they say, like this brother come here talking about it's fake. Whoever that is, Betty the serpent, right? You're in the wrong house. You need to go somewhere else with that. Guess what they say? It's unrelated to Epstein's island. So James Biden just so happened to own another island property, right? Close to Epstein's island. It says, posted in a thread discussing deep underground military bases called DUMBs. Ghislaine Maxwell, everybody, she can drive submarines. Ghislaine Maxwell can drive helicopters. Ghislaine Maxwell was brilliant, and she was raised from a child, all right? She can drive the submarines. Right? Watch this. I got some receipts. This clown talking about something fake. Ain't nothing fake. I'm about to show receipts here, video stuff. Right? Now watch this. Now, that's why I said she was the handler. Do you understand? Now, it says, posted in a thread discussing deep underground military bases. Maxwell's piloting skills, right? She can drive planes, she can drive helicopters, but she can also drive submarines. And Epstein's submarine access reflecting persistent online narratives blending conspiracy with unverified historical detail. Now, James Biden had an island next door because they was trying to figure out, well, who owns these island properties. And it's the receipt. James Biden sold a U.S. Virgin Island property in 2020 to a lobbyist. All right. Now, it's Biden or his brother who owns the next island over. He got it for the low. James Biden got it for a price of about $100,000. It's easily accessible by a submarine piloted by Ghislaine. Now, I'm about to show a video clip, right? All right, let me get to this one. All right, now look at this. In 2014, this crime talking about fake. Ain't nothing fake on this channel. We do diligent studies, and our studies show myself approved. All right, I verify and fact check everything before I bring it because they have AI and stuff. In 2014, Ghislaine Maxwell spoke at a Council on Foreign Relations. Do y'all know what the Council of Foreign Relations is? Y'all know what the Bilderberg Group is, right? Y'all know what the Trilateral Commission is, right? Some of y'all, if y'all don't study and show yourself approved, just Google what I'm talking about. All right. Now, in 2014, Ghislaine spoke at the Council of Foreign Relations in Washington, D.C. She was there in her capacity as the founder of the Terra Project. Ghislaine, an oceanic conservation group she started in 2012, according to Council of Foreign Relations spokeswoman. She got a Marine Kingdom Oceanic Conservation Group. Understand, they got the islands, they got the submarines, everything. They do their stuff in the Marine Kingdom. We going somewhere. Now look what this says. Epstein Island, who owns the surrounding islands in the coast, right? Now look at this. This is her. The Terra Project was a self-described environmental nonprofit organization. It was founded in the United States by Ghislaine Maxwell. A sister organization in the United Kingdom was incorporated in 2013, right? And then announced the closure in 2019. All right, now we going somewhere. Watch this. So these people own these islands, right? Oh, hold on. That's the next one. All right, now let me show y'all the receipt. Copyright disclaimers in effect. Let's hear from Ghislaine herself. For people talking about something fake, you fake. You got the wrong channel coming here talk about something fake. Wrong one. You better go somewhere else. All right. Let's hear from Ghislaine herself. All right. Let me find it. It's this one, right? Because I'm gonna do that one. That's about Ethiopia, right? All right. We're gonna do the waters first. Copyright disclaimers are in effect. Stop share. Right? Then I come back to y'all, share screen. Shout out to everybody on the streams. All right, it's almost 300 of us on this live. All right, let's go. Window. Oh, no, cancel. Share it again, share screen. That tab, audio, share. Everybody, this is Ghislaine herself speaking. So we ain't nobody making nothing up. Copyright disclaimers in effect. We don't own rights to the video. We reacting for educational purposes only. Ghislaine Maxwell speaking at the Council of Foreign Relations.
On the stage here, we have Ghislaine Maxwell, founder and president of the Terra Project, a nonprofit whose mission is to create a global ocean community to protect and promote sustainable development of the ocean. Ghislaine is easily one of the smartest, most fascinating people I've ever met. This is proven by the fact that she holds a bachelor's and master's degree from Oxford University, is a private helicopter pilot, a trained EMT, a qualified ROV, which I had to look up what that was, and a deep worker submarine pilot, in addition to being...
Now, did y'all hear all of that Ghislaine? Now, we don't know nothing about that, right? Only thing they tell us, Ghislaine was just Jeffrey Epstein's, one that go get the girls, right? Now, for those who did more research, I knew a little deeper about her from her dad, Robert Maxwell. Wicked stuff, right? But I didn't know all of this stuff, right? She was, all right, she had her master's. Hold on. Listen to her accomplishments.
Pilot, a trained EMT. This is proven by the fact that she holds a bachelor's and master's degree from Oxford University, is a private helicopter pilot, a trained EMT, a qualified ROV, which I had to look up what that was, and a deep worker submarine pilot, in addition to being fluent in 4 languages. This is what I had written down before I realized that she spoke at the UN 9 times since the last time I saw her.
She spoke at the United Nations 9 times by the time he saw her. Everybody listen. Now when this is going on right here, her speaking at the council, They was doing all this Epstein stuff. Okay? All that was going on. All right? Submarines. We going there. It's gonna tie it all together. The Marine Kingdom. Let's go.
So with that, I'd like to welcome Glenn Maxwell.
Now here she come on the stage.
Thank you. Excellent. Good afternoon. I noticed that my speech today was leveraging technology to create a global ocean community. I'm going to change that on you, and I'm going to leverage technology to create a new country. Now, I know I speak with
Hold on. What is she? These devils. Listen to these demons. A global water marine kingdom community. She said, I'm going to change that. And you're going to make it what?
a leverage technology to ocean community. I'm going to. My speech today was leveraging technology to create a global ocean community. I'm going to change that on you, and I'm going to leverage technology to create a new country. Now, I know I speak with a funny accent, and so yes, I did say country, not company. So, with that, I'm the founder of an internet project called the Terramar Project. It's an ocean-based digital platform which I'm going to be talking to you about.
Now, these are how these serpents be in your face, right? All their degrees, all her intelligences, all her skills. But on the outside of this, they're doing all this to these babies. You understand? They're doing all of this, right? It's crazy. And the people be applauding them. Oh, she's so intelligent. And they be right in your face. And then you got people over here coming over on our live stream talking about this is none of this true. That's these serpents trying to come in here. All right.
I want to go back briefly to talk to you about why I got involved in the ocean, and because I think it's important to have history. So I started diving when I was 9, having become passionate about the ocean, watching Jacques Cousteau on TV. And it led to a lifelong exploration around the ocean that ultimately ended with me becoming a deep worker submersible pilot.
A deep worker submersible pilot. This little girl was trained. These in this Marine King, tomorrow, Terror Network. Yeah, Terror, everybody. See, you got to hit the code words, right? Like they did with Pizzagate and stuff, right? Right? I got more of that stuff coming out because all this stuff ties together, these code words, the Terror Project and all this stuff, right?
On one of my first submarine dives, I was absolutely so excited. I thought, my goodness, I'm going to see a new sea creature. I'm going to be this
Shout out to Spoon Spooky.
Amazing explorer. And off I was. I went down into the deep, and I went down to over 1,500 feet. And at 1,500 feet, I switched on the lights, hoping to see a new mythical sea creature. But in fact, what I saw was a plastic hanger.
You saw Leviathan. See, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is where they be going, bro. They always be going down. They be telling y'all they going up. They be going down into the Marine Kingdom, the depths of the sea, trying to find Atlantis and Tartaria and all this other stuff. These fallen, you know what I'm saying, trying to reach Leviathan in them, right? So, okay. So I just wanted to show some of this to show y'all that this ain't no made up stuff.
If I told you that you own something versus rent it, would you care for it more, look after it more if you owned it than if you didn't own it? Please, if you think that you'd look after something more if you owned it, raise your hands. Well, I think that's about 100%. So the good news is that I want to tell you that you actually own 45% of the planet. So let's quickly just look at this map. 71% of the planet is ocean. 64% of that ocean lies outside of any single country's jurisdiction. And under the law, that 64% of the ocean belongs to each and every one of you in this room. It's called your global commons. So the assets.
Well, guys, don't listen to this wicked serpent stuff. Marine Kingdom. The Most High said, don't be going down into those depths of those seas. There are places we are not to go. There are warnings for us. You understand? They trying to open these portals and unleashing, just like they doing CERN and the Collider and stuff and all that type of stuff. So they're trying to open these portals, right? This darkness, all right? So now I just wanted to show some of this, right? And now we're gonna get to the the other
it
tie it in.
alone can hold 12 Boeing 747s in its mouth. And
What can hold
is that a
7?
problem? It's because if you take out the largest fishing net in the world today, the mouth of it alone can hold 12 Boeing 747s in its mouth. And you can imagine how much fish that thing can just suck up. And the issue with overfishing is that it is
All
removing.
right. So now I just wanted to show that just as the receipt, right? So now I got more. Don't even worry about it. We going somewhere. Now we about to get to, we're going to tie it in, right? So let me close that. Now you heard from herself, right? You heard her degrees, right? She is a master submarine. She can drive it and all that stuff, right? She's EMT certified. His other girlfriend that he left all that money, she was the dentist. That's why he had dentist chairs. He had torture chambers. He had all this stuff, right? So he had all the people around who could facilitate and use those things that he was using for his darkness, right? So let me go to that one, and then let's go to the Ethiopia. Let's get right to it, and then we're gonna go to some other dark stuff, right? So let me grab this one, right? Bang, that's this one, right? So let me come back. Let me stop share. How you do it? Bang. There we go. Share screen, right? Window. And now we're going to tie in, right? So that's her Terramar project, right? So, and who owned the island? Now, again, this is his trapdoor. You understand? Right? And Biden's brother owned the island, next door island. Okay. Now you know they do it on the land where they do these tunnels, right? And they be these are tunnels in the Marine Kingdom, and they got submarines. That's crazy work. All right. Now let's go. All right. And that's again. Now look. Now here, don't this hit different now. Jeffrey Epstein said when Stephen Hawkins came to my island and said his dream was to go diving, I duct taped his head to a high back chair and loaded him in a private submarine. Great fun. That's your facts. That's your receipt. All right. Now let's go. So where I'm going now, let's tie in where I'm gonna do it. How I'm gonna do it first. Do I want to go here first? Let's go to the Ethiopians. Do I want to grab this? Yeah, grab this one first. Let's read this first, right? So that we can tie it in. So, and then once I grab that, then I got another video. Let me see the video. Let me grab the video. Bang. That's the video. Okay. All right. And then let me make sure where I'm walking it to. And then I grab this one. Is it this one? Let me see. This. Yeah, there we go. All right. So some of y'all might have heard some of this. Let's go. So I'm going to stop share, right? Then I'm going to share screen, but I'm going to bring some more pieces to it. If y'all heard, some of y'all been trying to grab receipts, right? So if y'all heard of this one, I'm going to bring more than it, all right? So share, okay. Let me make it a little bigger screen, right? Because I'm going to get to, and then let me go to the next slide. All right. So this says more info about Epstein artificial intelligence. All right. So now most people, I don't want to give too much because I got something that's going to come on another live stream. Epstein was deep in AI. All the stuff that we got going on, really deep at the beginning, all of this stuff, right? More info about Epstein artificial intelligence. He was training his AI in Ethiopia to perfect his little St. James torture methods. Everybody, Epstein was training using AI to perfect his torture that he was doing on the people. All right, I'm gonna share this one first. Let's read this one first, and then we'll come back to those threads, right? And then I got a video to show y'all, right? Share screen, bang, window. Let's read this one first. Share, right? Let me make it big so we can see it. Y'all can see it at home. It says, Epstein described Africa as fertile ground for experimentation. he financed artificial intelligence and other corrupt, inhumane research projects, with Ethiopia cited as a place where children could be exploited, abused, and harvested for their DNA and subjected to experimental technologies and biological weapons. Everybody, thank you, Spoon Spooky. I got some more to come out for you, King. And every time we go live, just come on. I'm going to always have something that's just not splattered everywhere. Always try to bring you new stuff, right? Now, listen clearly. He described Africa as fertile ground for its experimentation, all right? And other corrupt, inhumane research. Ethiopia, he cited as a place where children can be exploited, abused, harvested for DNA, and subjected to experimental technologies and biological weapons. Mogadishu and these warring area factions are ground zero and for the whole Cushitic Empire people of Ethiopia and all of that, right? Thank you, Spoon Spooky. He says, understand, Ethiopia itself is viewed by many as an artificial state. These elites, right? These rich billionaire serpents, because that's what they are, right? That Ethiopia itself is viewed by many as an artificial state created to serve external interests. And it says, and I agree, this is also where the so-called African Union is headquartered, all right? Now, who enables this? Not outsiders alone, but those who serve predators like Epstein, minions who look African on the outside. These Africans selling their own, blacks selling their own, minions who look African on the outside, yet sacrifice morality, accountability, and their own communities for money and power. Because people like to just think it's just white, right? It's just white. The devil's a lie. If you think it's just white, then you are boo-boo the fool, and you're going to be enslaved by some other melanated or whatever person, and you be like, but you're supposed to be black or African or Hispanic or something. They all serpents, you bird. You better understand. You understand? They ain't got the, but anyway, let's continue. Now, it's a bloodline. That's what you need to know. All right. Now, who enables this? It's not outsiders alone. They are the children of the devil, hollow, ravenous politicians who treat human lives as disposable. Note, the repeated disease outbreaks across Africa, including Ebola, are not random events. They are presented here as deliberate, created, tested, and deployed intentionally. That's why Bill Snakes was over in Africa with the Jim Joes. Some of y'all know, I'm going to bring a little bit of that out tonight too, but I know some of y'all already seen that. The Bill Snakes and the Epstein files talking about the COVID, Jim Joe's jab juice stuff, right? The COVID stuff and all that, and all the outbreaks and everything. You know, they're going over there to Africa and stuff, right? All right. So everybody listen. So that, all right. Now, let me stop share. Now let's go back. Now let's tie this together. Share screen, bang, window. It's this one, share. Now, more info about Epstein's artificial intelligence. He was training his AI in Ethiopia to perfect his little St. James torture methods. He was funding AI labs in the developing world to use them as guinea pigs. So Epstein set up AI labs all through Ethiopia and Somalia to use them as guinea pigs. He was exporting advanced surveillance and cognitive software called OpenCog to a region that had no privacy laws. So it's just open ground that they can do these to the, to Africa, right? You just go there, they can do whatever they want. That's why Bill Snake's over there just jabbing people, making people sterile, experimenting. They experiment they stuff on the continent. You understand? They always been doing it. Ain't nothing new under the sun, right? It was called OpenCog. He was exporting advanced surveillance and cognitive software. He was harvesting data and test algorithms on populations that couldn't fight back, all under the guise of education. He used a Berlin scientist named Joschka Bach and MicroSci 2. The document states, I'm about to show it. The results of all this complex architecture are visually displayed on a computer screen in a simulated tropical island. So Epstein made its own Minecraft. He made his own simulation of his island, and he tested the torture methods on actual Ethiopians and Somalians, right? And he tested it, and then he did simulations in the AI world before he did all these stuff. He was simulating his island. The software he funded in Berlin was specifically designed to model behavior on a tropical island setting. That's why he was so interested in these MIT AI geniuses. Boy, this dude was behind everything that y'all have no idea, all the way down to Facebook. Yeah, he was. All this stuff. Him and Peter Thiel, Palantir. Boy, y'all, but I got some stuff coming. Boy, I'm be letting it out. I'm sorry, I don't want to give away all my stuff because people be stealing content and just trying to come out, right? I don't want to give away too much, right? I ain't gonna give, but y'all, whenever we live, y'all just come on back. Now watch this. I'm gonna show you. He used the Berlin scientists, Joschka Bach, right? They experiment microside 2, right? Here go a receipt. It says, I can't, such is cut off here, including progress through types of knowledge sources when problem solving known as the Rasmussen ladder and knowledge-based hierarchical activision. The results of all this complex architecture are visually displayed on a computer screen. Now, these are from the Epstein files, guys. I'm showing y'all some of the stuff, the files, right? Simulated. The results of all this complex architecture are visually displayed on a computer screen in a simulated tropical island. But what might look like a simple video game is actually a platform for highly complex, emotionally driven agents to move around. The first microsite project, built between 2003 and 2009, has more than 60,000 lines of Java code. With plugins for Eclipse IDE, Microsite 2 is written in Python, and unlike standard code, Python uses graphical and spatial definitions for its characters. The graphical format allows for more precise associations, conceptual hierarchies, pathway activation, spreading, perceptual schemata, and parallelism. Now, I'm going somewhere, right? I'm just showing y'all these receipts, right? What it say? The results of this complex architecture are visually displayed on a computer screen in a simulated tropical island, right? It might look like a video game, but it's highly complex and emotionally driven agents to move around. Next receipt. According to Epstein files, Epstein created an artificial intelligence simulation of his digital twin of Little St. James Island. He created a 3D computer model of Epstein's real private island in the Caribbean. Epstein had the physical layout of his island, the beaches, the cottages, and the temple on his island, the dock recreated inside of a computer program. The document mentions emotionally driven agents with 3 specific drives. The emotionally driven agents are physiological, hunger, social, affiliation, and cognitive, uncertainty. These would be the experiments that he would do on these women and these children and these boys and these men on the island once they got on the island. These are these games, these Hunger Game stuff, right? So they're playing emotionally driven agents, physiological, starving them out, hunger, social affiliation, having them see one another and running, you know how they used to show in the movies that they'll run them loose on the island and then they chase them and hunt them down and stuff. See, all this stuff you think is in TV shows and movies, it's all coming out. I knew, see, people's talking about it's conspiracy theory. They're people with idiot juices. Ain't none of this stuff been conspiracy theory. This stuff been going on since ancient times, bro. Since ancient. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Now listen clearly. These are, come on, it's just the tip of the iceberg. These are the Hunger Game stuff. Come on. Listen, now I showed y'all this. That's why I showed y'all the receipts. Come on. The results of this complex architecture are visually displayed on a computer screen, a simulated tropical island, but what might look like a simple video game is actually a platform for highly complex, emotionally driven agents. All right? Emotionally. Now let's continue. Yes, human hunting. Now, this is what he did. The document mentions, and that Sister Virginia was speaking on some of this about the psychological torture, the post-traumatic stress disorder she had from all the stuff that happened. Physiological hunger, social affiliation, and cognitive uncertainties. In this simulation, they were programmed to act like vulnerable humans. So he had this German scientist, MIT scientist, create this this AI program, right? And they did the actual experiment on actual Ethiopians and Somalians in the land, right? So they had the physical experimentation with the actual African people, and then the AI model simulation, right? Now, in this simulation, they were programmed to act like vulnerable humans. Epstein would put an agent in a specific building on his digital island, and then he would inform the stress test. He would manipulate the variables. He would cut off the social drive, mean isolate, or increase the cognitive uncertainty, fear, and confusion. Everybody listen, this is the craziest, darkest stuff in the world. And they did it. He tested it out with AI and on the African people first before he started grabbing all of these women and children and men on his island. Okay? Now, one of the tests was the stress test. He would manipulate the different variables to see what happened. He would cut off the social drive. So he would separate the women or the children on the island, right? Isolation. Then he would increase the cognitive uncertainty, fear, and confusion. And then remember the other one's starving them out, hunger, physiological, right? Social, right? Cognitive uncertainty, right? To stress out their mind. And they're testing. It's the same thing they did during slavery, and they did this through all the different kingdoms. You're talking about ancient Rome and Greece and just all different Babylon and Syrian, and right? They always experiment these dark devils on this earth. You understand? Always experimenting with the innocence with people, right? So he would make the stress test, and he would manipulate the variables, right? Social drive, isolation, increase the cognitive uncertainty, fear, confusion, and then the observation. He would watch on the screen to see how long it would take for the agents to break. So he would, as he was doing this on his AI simulation, like they modeled it. They built the AI to model after the things they did to the Ethiopian and the Somalian, the African children that they did it on. And so they built the AI from all of their fear and their, that adrenochrome thing, that fear and stuff, right? All the resonances of the human, right? Temple. They probably put all type of what's the names on them and cooked them up to the computers and stuff like that, right? So now it says he would watch on the screen to see how long it took for the agent to break, right? He watched to see what behavior the agent produced to relieve the pressure. This is nothing new under the sun, bro. It's some dark stuff, right? So he would watch what these agents, they call them agents. These are children, right? Or these are women or men or whatever they're doing it to, right? Now, what he would do is he would watch to see what the person would do to relieve the stress and pressure, right? And they would manipulate. So if they find out that the person might do this to relieve the stress of the fear, anxiety, then they would remove that thing that the person would use to relieve it, so they would have no relief. You understand? They want constant torture, constant fear, constant, right? So they can eat the fear. Fear is demon food, it's devil food. You understand? And that's what pumped into the blood from the adrenal glands. You understand? The adrenaline. You understand? So anyway, now he watched to see what behavior the agent produced to relieve the pressure, so they can remove whatever the children or whatever the people would use to relieve the stress and the fear and the pressure. They would remove it so that they would have nothing, no release. Do you understand? It's the sickest thing in the world. All right. Now, what's this? He used the software to calculate exactly how much pressure, he called it pressure, a person could withstand before they became compliant. Everybody listen. He used the software to calculate exactly how much pressure, isolation, drugs, sexual assault, right? Where the children, a lot of them are unalive. They I just showed you, he had the trap door with the Marine Kingdom. A lot of them, the victims who are alive, they're speaking out. Some of them be unalive, some of them, right? So, okay, so let me continue. I'm not going to pay attention to that because you get your people coming here thinking this ain't real, right? And these are the people that's compliant in this stuff, right? So I ain't even going to pay attention to none of that. So he used the software. So he was building the AI model so that he can, and this is crazy because this is what they got planned for all of us if we if we don't expose this stuff, right? If we don't expose this stuff, this is the light versus the darkness. You understand? Ain't nothing new in the sun. This is what they was doing to us way back then. He used the software to calculate exactly how much pressure that a person could withstand before they became compliant. Isolation, drugs, and sexual assault. He used the socially motivated behavior data to learn how to make a victim bond with their abuser. Now y'all understand why they talk. Cause I'll even go. Now you understand why they. What's that called? Stockholm syndrome and all that. So he used the AI to manipulate to get them to the right place where they can bond with their abuser. So then you won't have to. It's like you become mentally brainwashed, like a MK Ultra type of thing. You understand? To the point where now they're bonding with the abuser, and nobody can, like, so they'll fight on behalf of you, be trying to free them, and they'll fight for him, Epstein and them, right? This is not new under the sun, right? He used the socially motivated behavior data to learn how to make the victims bond with their abuser. He was running what if scenarios to perfect his grooming techniques. If I put the guests in the blue cottage and I cut off the food supply, how do they move? Everybody, this is AI feed, how you feed the data into AI as he was building. Now remember, this is back in 2000 and just 2010 and 11 and 14 and all that stuff, right? This early AI before they even let us know what was going on, right? Right? So you talking about, 20 and 19 and stuff, right? Now, he was running what if scenarios, right? So this is how you train the AI. What if I do this? What if I do that? What if? So what if I put the guests in that blue cottage on this island and cut off the food supply? Then what happens? What do they do? So I can remove anything that they would do to relieve the pressure or to become back to keep their sanity, because he wants to break them. This is called buck breaking, right? This is called breaking. Well, it's not buck, because the buck breaking, what they did to our ancestors, what they did to the men and stuff, but this is breaking, right? It's human breaking, okay? This is human breaking. So they are breaking their sight so that they will be reliant on them, the abuser. That will be their God, right? And they won't be able to see no more, because the sanctity or the cognitive what you call that, the cognitive functionality of the individual is broken, and then they rebuilt it into their likeness and image. Do you understand? It's the connection. They breaking the connection between the person and their creator, and connecting them to them, the marine kingdom, their God, these devils. All right. He used the computer to learn how to turn humans into obedient agents in real life. The tropical island on the screen was the blueprint for the prison he built, Epstein Island. This is, here you go. This is the Berlin scientist that he used to do it. Jaska Bach. Artificial intelligence in medicine. Conscious machines and the future of healthcare providers. You know I don't play. Y'all know I'm going to bring all receipts. We don't do none. That's why people come here to my something fake. Ain't nothing fake on this channel. We're going to bring you just diligently study and show yourself approved. Look, this who we use. What can AI tell us about the such and such deconstructing yourself? Right? Eclipse environment. Node net editor, net simulator agent actually monitoring console words, right? This who we used. Okay? Y'all know I'm going to bring receipts. Dr. Jaska Bach and his organization, the Microside Project, helped Epstein refine his torture methods. He was using artificial intelligence to learn how to destroy the human spirit faster and more efficiently. Epstein was trying to solve the equation for free will. Everybody listen clearly, all right? That's what I'm talking about. What's fake about the truth? Sister Jocelyn, whenever they come with that, that's these ones that's congruent. They're compliant in this sin and transgression. That's that's what they are. Whenever they come with that, that's when they show you who they are, right? You can discern through it, because ain't nothing about these facts. I'm showing you actual old facts and stuff. I'm about to show you video. You understand? All right. Now He was using artificial intelligence to learn how to destroy the human spirit faster and more efficiently. Listen clearly. What is he trying to destroy? Free will. Solve the equation. So you don't have free will. You use your free will to serve them, the devils, versus taking your free will and serving the Most High. That's what get us in this mess. The Most High gave us free will, the creator of all things. We can freely, with our free will, choose righteousness, choose to serve the Most High, or we can freely, with our free will, choose the evil, the opposite, the devil, darkness, chaos, right? Choose peace over chaos. Choose righteousness over unrighteousness. Choose, right? Choose, and that's what they are trying to solve the equation of free will. So what did that mean? That means take away your free will so that now you only serve them. Do you understand? Use this artificer to destroy the human spirit faster and more efficiently. These serpents. And that's why he was so in MIT and Harvard. That's why he always got these Harvard scientists. He had a lab. He actually had an actual room from the Harvard scientists. He had his own pass key. They didn't get through anywhere on Harvard and everything after his first charge. After that, you understand? All these scientists and stuff, right? Like they closed that program in Harvard now because of all this stuff coming out. But all this stuff is in the Epstein files. Yeah. We going somewhere. That's what we do here. So everybody, please, you might as well like and subscribe now. Please like it so people can know we live. Subscribe, don't subscribe, whatever. Just come back. You want some fruit? We're going to bring you fruit always. Let's continue. Now, this, watch this, including context-dependent memories, socially motivated behavior, and internally motivated task switching. The emotion-driven architecture also includes several knowledge trait templates, temporal structures, spatial memories, and new information processing mechanisms and behaviors, including progress through types of knowledge sources when problem solving, known as the Rasmussen ladder, and knowledge-based hierarchical active vision. The results of the complex architecture are visually displayed on a computer screen in a simulated tropical island. What might look like a video game is actually the environment for highly complex, emotionally driven agents to move around. Most importantly, these moving agents are not validated cognitive models, but theoretical explorations in the realm of AI architecture for generating behavior and for generating behavior. All right? An evolving effort to provide a unified theory of cognition. In fact, as more variables are built into these agents, MicroSci, that company, is attempting to create the most complex algorithms agent to date. As such, MicroSci might very well shed new light into the expansiveness or even limits of the brain. These are your receipts, bro. Epstein files revealed the photo. All right, so let's go. Now, I got a video clip. Now y'all just got that fruit. Shout out to who over there? Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Mathematics on Facebook. Now watch this. Copyright, we got a video clip. Copyright disclaimers are in effect for educational purposes only. Let's tie it in. All right? This is what they did. What's the title of tonight? Epstein was torturing these, right? Submarines, Somalis, Ethiopians. Let's go. Copyright disclaimers are in effect. It's this one. Here we go. What do I do? What do y'all see? Let me see. What am I sharing? Come back to y'all. Oh, sharing that. Stop share. Share screen. Here we go. This one. Share. Let me see what y'all see. There we go. Watch this. Copyright disclaimers in effect. We don't own rights to the video. We reacted to the video for educational purposes only. I read this right here. I read that for y'all when we started.
There's a particular reference Epstein makes to Africa, and he says, I do a lot of work in Africa, and he refers to Africa as fertile ground for experimentation. And so it turns out that Epstein was a major funder of this weird artificial intelligence lab being created in Ethiopia that's tied to the scientist who's overtly transhumanist that he funded extensively named Benjamin Goertzel. Goertzel is, for example...
Transhumanist. Benjamin Goertzel. All right? Listen clearly. Shout out to Kenny. Shout out to everybody coming over.
Gertzel is, for example, head of Humanity Plus. Former
Let me go back.
Gertzel overtly created in Ethiopia the intelligence lab, this weird artificial intelligence lab being created in Ethiopia that's tied to the scientist who's overtly transhumanist that he funded extensively, named Benjamin Gertzel. Gertzel is, for example, head of Humanity Plus, formerly the World Transhumanist Association, which is an entity that Epstein funded in addition to funding Gertzel's own work. And Gertzel is also the chief scientist at Hanson Robotics, which has produced these human-like robots, the best well-known probably being Sophia.
So this Gertzel dude is the chief scientist at Hanson Robotics. Y'all remember Hanson Robotics? Y'all remember back then Sophia, the bald-headed robot and stuff, and the ones, right? These Hanson Robotics? This Epstein is going way back before we was even knowing what he was doing. He all tied into all this robotics, AI, and everything. All right? Watch this.
Like robots, the best well-known robotics, which is funding Gertzel's own work. And Gertzel is also the chief scientist at Hanson Robotics, which is produced.
Transhumanist means they're trying to merge AI with humans, right? It's like what's that thing they put in their brain? So they're trying to make transhuman robots, like human species cyborgs. Okay, that's what that is. And that's where they at. That's why they
at Hanson Robotics, which has produced,
yes, like
is also the chief scientist at Hanson Robotics, which has produced these human-like robots, the best well-known probably being Sophia.
Akiana in the UK said he's also the founder of CEO of Singularity Net, crypto, etc. All right? And it's Akiana, you just tied it in. Watch this. This is crypto. Here we go.
Robots, the best well-known probably being Sophia, the robot that was, for example, granted citizenship by Mohammed bin Sophia. Produced these human-like robots, the best well-known probably being Sophia, the chief scientist at Hanson Robotics, which has produced these human-like robots, the best well-known probably being Sophia. The robot that was, for example, granted citizenship by Mohammed bin Salman at a time when one of his close advisors was Jeffrey Epstein.
His close advisor was Jeffrey Epstein. And y'all remember when Saudi Arabia made Sophia an actual legal citizen? Some of y'all don't remember. And they was all in there with their things on their head, and they was all worshiping and this falling in. We did it on this channel years ago. I mean, it was, I don't know if, it's been years. Time goes so fast, right? All right, so let's continue. All right.
And Salman at a time well-known probably being Sophia, the robot that was, for example, granted citizenship by Mohammed bin Salman at a time when one of his close advisors was Jeffrey Epstein. Again, very, very odd activity there. So as far as what was going on in Ethiopia at the time that Epstein was investing in this AI lab and backing Gertzel, Gertzel was teaming up with this blockchain company called Cardano that's pretty well known in the cryptocurrency space.
There you go, Akiana. Cardano is Dogecoin for everybody. I don't want to do this. Y'all remember Doge with the Doge and the new administration with Doge? For those people who don't know crypto, that's Cardano. That's the little Shiba. That's the dog. Okay. So anyway, let me come back. All right, let's continue. All right, I told you, you know, we gonna expose it all. Just expose it all. All right, here we go. Let's continue.
Blockchain and backing Gertzel. Gertzel was teaming up with this blockchain company called Cardano that's pretty well known in the cryptocurrency space. And they were specifically seeking to offer digital ID. Well, it's already happened. They gave a digital ID essentially to 5 million Ethiopian school children with the intention of expanding that. And the whole intention of this is to harvest data from these children. They explicitly say that. So, and even
so they gave everybody, listen, I'm tying it together, Delara Shah. You know how the Most High had me do. They gave to Ethiopian children,
Ethiopian school children, a digital ID essentially happened. They offer digital ID, specifically seeking to offer digital ID. Well, it's already happened. They gave a digital ID essentially to 5 million
5 million Ethiopian children. All right, the tie-in. They would now when I tied in what Epstein was doing with his simulation, the torture, the digital ID, they were over there. Even Bill Snakes was over there, right? These were all congruent. They all in the Epstein files. This is some crazy dark stuff. Let's continue.
They gave a digital ID seeking to offer digital ID. Well, it's already happened. They gave a digital ID essentially to 5 million Ethiopian school children with the intention of expanding that. And the whole intention of this is to harvest data from these children. They explicitly say that. So, and even in other documents, Kurt Gertzel essentially says that this data is being used to feed the AI that powers robots like Sophia at Hanson Robotics and stuff.
Feed the robots. That's why I broke down what Epstein said. They feeding the information, what they're doing to those children into the robots, the torture. See? Now y'all see the tie-in. Now let's read this. Destiny. The imperative to go out and colonize space. And Musk stood up, leapt out of his chair, literally gave the 2 thumbs up. So yeah, I think that's right. And cosmism, this idea really goes back to the latter 19th century with a bunch of Russian theorists, but in its modern form, it was sort of reintroduced by a guy named Ben Gertzel. That's the one we just heard about, this dude, all right? This is the Epstein tie with that bot guy, Gertzel, who is the reason that we talk about artificial general intelligence, the singularity, Yana. Come on, Yana, broke it out. The singularity. This is the reason why we talk about artificial general intelligence. So he popularized the term. And so he is this modern cosmonaut who basically says, why stop at just re-engineering humanity? Why not re-engineer the whole universe as the universe itself? Now, everybody, y'all remember when I played Ghislaine, when she spoke and she said, not only are we going to make a new we're going to make a new country, a new world. All right. The tie-in. Shout out to Infinity 777. Hempstead Strong Island in the building. All right. I got you. Now I read the chat later. I didn't know what the other brother said. 100 block. That's Terra Ave. I'm from Parkside Project. Hempstead, stand up. You heard South Franklin. All right. Sorry, guys. Somebody from my old hood in New York City. All right. New York, Strong Island. All right. Let's go. It says, so he popularized the term, and he is the modern cosmonaut who basically says, why stop at just re-engineering humanity? Why not re-engineer the whole universe as the universe itself? Let's think big. Ain't this stuff? This ain't nothing but the Bible where the devil said he's going to ascend the clouds. He's going to be as the Most High. That's all this is, right? Let's think bigger than that. So maybe we can develop, he literally uses the term scientific future magic. Everybody listen, sorcery ain't nothing new under the sun, witchcraft. He literally uses the term scientific future magic, So we develop these advanced technologies we can't even possibly comprehend right now. And then we go out and we just, redesign galaxies. Everybody. We intervene upon the fabric of space-time to change the universe in some profound way to fit our utopian desires. Yeah, this is cosmic such of its transhumanism plus. It's of transhumanism plus. They taking transhumanism to another level. That's what these fallen angels. This is Bible, bro. Y'all better understand. This ain't about religion. You better understand book of instructions. I don't care what kind of scriptural book this stuff is written in history. Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's the same stuff they've been doing. Yeah, you hear this language, bro? This is crazy. It says, Gil Duran says, so this is like white flight at the speed of something of the planet now. Reverend Moss, your thoughts on going away from one place to the universe or whatever. All right, so anyway, yeah, this is all biblical. All right, let's continue. All right, So I just stopped that so I can read that because, I put this
and
together
robotics
for
and
y'all.
stuff. Bots like Sophia at Hansen Robotics and the AI that powers robots like Sophia at Hansen Robotics. Gertzel essentially says that this data is being used to feed.
So the data that they putting on these African children, Ethiopian Somalian children, 500, and you remember we read in the Elon stuff, the torture stuff they doing, and they doing it to feed the AI, right? And this is Cardano and the crypto, right?
The AI that powers robots like Sophia at Hansen Robotics and stuff.
So that's the food, was the stuff that they did to the children. Now let's continue. All right, here we go.
That Epstein was investing in this AI lab and backing Gertzel. Gertzel was teaming up with this blockchain company called Cardano.
So AI was backing Gertzel with the money to do all this. This way back before we even knew Epstein and stuff, most of us, right? They even knew that these serpents was doing all this stuff, right?
It's pretty well known in the crypto that's in company called was team and backing Gertzel. Epstein was
right there.
That Epstein was investing in this AI lab and backing Gertzel. Gertzel was teaming up with this blockchain company called Cardano that's pretty well known in the cryptocurrency space. And they were specifically seeking to offer digital ID. Well, it's already happened. They gave a digital ID essentially to 5 million Ethiopian school children with the intention of expanding that. And the whole intention of this is to harvest data from these children.
So here, I get the receipt for y'all. Y'all know what I'm going to do. I'm going to always bring y'all receipts. Look at this. School registration adds up to expanding use cases of Ethiopia's digital ID, right? Watch this. Y'all know I'm going to always bring you receipts. Now look at this one. I got to make it a little bigger so I can read it. I think I did screenshot it. Hashtag Ethiopia to require digital ID for school registration. Integration expands. Ethiopia's digital ID system called FADA will be required for school registration starting next academic year. This is January 2025. Starting next academic year, authorities announced the move is part of a broader effort to integrate the ID into public services under the government's digital transformation strategy. Jonas Alanahu, Director General of Addis Ababa Civil Registration and Resident Services, said the initiative will be implemented. All right? This is what they're doing. This is live news. That's why people, something fake. Ain't nothing fake that we do on this channel. Look, Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation, Voice for Pan-Africanism. The ID program known as FADA has currently enrolled 28 million people. Hold on. I got the other slide to show y'all. Y'all know we bring receipts in this channel always. Dag, I cut off that thing. I think it said 100-something million people now registered for digital ID. All right. I think I got the other. Let me see. I think on the next slide I got the other writing. That was it. So hold on. Let me go back. 28 million. The digital ID known as FADA has currently enrolled 28 million people collaborating with various institutions across different sectors. All right. These are the receipts. Now y'all could go look this stuff up yourself. Study, show yourself approved. All right. Ain't none of this stuff made up. All this stuff is out there right now. You heard? Now, Ethiopian, what they doing to the children. We broke down what the Epstein on his island, the torture methods with the AI from the Bakdu and then the Gertzel, all these people tied in. I got other stuff. When we go live, y'all just come when we go live. It's already 9:30. I'm supposed to close out. Do I want to do one more? Let me do one more. Do I want to do one more thing? Hold up, what's this one? Because if I don't want to go into no deep stuff. Let's do a little bit of, I got some pictures. Let's do some of the pictures. All right. And then I don't want to do that. I was going to go into snakes, right? But I'll come back to that. We'll do that on another live, right? Maybe Wednesday. We live again Wednesday, but I'm going to show some pictures. These are some of y'all might have seen, these are some of the new from the files that just came out, right? So let me grab, right? Where's the picture? All right. Go to my screenshots. This one. Well, let's start. This one's dark. So I'm going to start. Yeah, let's start here. right? And yep, so I'm gonna start here. All right, so let's do a couple of pictures. All right, so let me come back to y'all, right? Make this smaller, bingo. Then I'm gonna stop share, come back to y'all, share screen, bang, window, bang, share. So see, these are some of the pictures from the Epstein files, right? And the faces of the children are redacted, right? So these are all little ones. They roasting s'mores and stuff. These are them on the island. These are look at the size of this little child, right? These are all these children. And remember, Epstein did the simulation, right? Now these children on this island, all right, of what to do with them, right? Now watch this. All these are redacted. Now, unfortunately, some of these in the files, because I was able to find a lot of the files and the videos, this actual image was not redacted. So some of that's crazy what they're doing. They first of all, they redact a lot of the predators' names and then leave a lot of the victims' names. So a lot of them, and some are saying that when they don't redact the image of the person, it's like an attack against the person. So this image wasn't redacted of this little girl sitting on his lap, right? So I had to, what's the name, to block it out so we don't get a strike. And they're saying that this is supposed to be that little girl laying down, right? All right, let me go to the next one. So you see how clear, look at her sitting on his lap. You see how clear this is? Her face wasn't redacted. So I had to blur this just to make sure we don't get strike. You know what I mean? So they're showing her actual face. And look at them sitting on this devil's lap. These are devil. I'm gonna call them what they is, right? Forget pervert. These are devils. All right. Now this image is crazy work. This is an image right here. I want to know if some of y'all saw this, right? So this is this is a hallway. These places look spooky too. I'm gonna show y'all in the next live stream. I'm gonna show you some other images that's really spooky looking on the island, right? And look, in a dress. How can I gonna say, is that him? Oh, you about to find out. Bushy already know who it is. Look, look, look who it is. Now this is an actual portrait in his this this YouTube channel, you right here. Oh, sorry, he probably talking to somebody else. All right, so let me face focus. So this is a picture in Jeffrey Epstein's house, right? So this is actually a picture of I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. I never had sexual relations with shout out to Patricia, shout out to Connecticut in the building, right? So this crazy work, and this is his artwork, and I would love to know what this says. I wish somebody, on the internet can find out what this picture outside says. I would love to know what that says, right? But it gets blurry, all right? So this is his picture in his house, right? See, that's the picture, and look, that's the room, right? And that's that picture, that image right there. I would love to know what that says, right? So that's some humiliation stuff anyway. Or is this, did Bill really do this? And he drew the pit, right? But whatever, right? It is what it is, right? It's sickle stuff in these files. This is another girl, right? These children in a bed. Some sad stuff will happen to these children, bro. And the Most High, this is another. Now this image I had to blur out. This image wasn't blurred. They showed this, and this girl looked like she about 10 years old. In the files, they actually show her face and everything. All right? These are these victims. All right? All right, I don't want to do that one. I'll come back to that one on another live. All right? All right. Oh, you use AI to read the letter on the wall? I wonder what it says. Was it able to read it? Oh, say use AI to read. That's a good, I'm going to try that. If somebody could try, I'm going to try that. Thank you for that tip. I'm going to try to use AI to read what it is, because I would love to know. And I got a clearer one of it too. I think this one should be clear enough that AI should be able to see it. If that one's kind of blurry. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. All right. So everybody. Hold on. Where's that? Stop. Gonna come to here. Bang. Hold to share screen. Shout out. It's about 500 of us on this live somewhere around there. Right? Shout out to everybody new. All right? And we live every Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're gonna bring all type of receipts that trying to bring stuff you haven't seen. And I'm gonna always bring stuff that's not out there. Right? Now, did Epstein torture these Ethiopians? We broke down. If you kind of late to the live and you didn't see the submarine stuff, just go back to the beginning. All right. Thank you, Spoon Spooky. All right. Shout out to Brenda. Shout out to, we're not Muslims. We children of the Most High. So you ain't gotta, this is a safe space. I don't care about your belief system. All I care about is that you try to be more righteous than unrighteous. We're children of the Creator of the Most High, right? And so the names you say, those are actual Habariyah names, right? Original Hebrew names, but we're not no Black Hebrew Israelite hate group crap stuff. We ain't no cult, none of that crap. You understand? We just children of the Most High trying to rightly divide the truth from the darkness, and we receive no matter who people are from every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. My only thing I want to know is if you're trying to be more righteous than unrighteous in this dark world, because the end time judgment is the righteous versus the unrighteous. That's what Armageddon is about. It's the light versus the darkness. You understand? And the darkness is getting stronger, and they're getting their devices, they're becoming more vocal because the end times is starting to compound, right? So well, that's cool. Well, and that's there you go. That's all I care about. If you don't have a higher power, then long as you care about your neighbor, loving your neighbor, you're trying to do the right next thing for your neighbor, then you all right with me. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. You understand? My thing is, if you think you the Most High, then long as you righteous and doing the right thing, long as you understand? Again, because it's not about no doctrine of men. That's what's wrong. Religion got people all in. That's what these people are religious. They know. They believe in the Most High, these devils, and they believe in their creator, right? Their creator wanted to be as them, right? So there you go. So we are a righteous children of the Most High, and we receive you for whatever it is, as long as you're trying to be a light in this dark world. That's it. Because that's what it's about. Because you got people, Brother Blix, who, they talking about Jesus, God, and Yahweh, and Yahuwah, and Yeshua, and you can call them all these names, but your fruit, your works are of the darkness. Your works are selfish. Your works are of pride and greed. And we're trying to die to the flesh, to the desires of the lower self, right? As long as you're trying to die to the desires of your lower self and be more righteous than unrighteous in this dark second world, then in your fruit I can see myself, and that makes me and you equally yoked. That makes you my brother. You understand? Or sister. That's it. It doesn't matter, right? It matters your fruit. We know them by your actions and your deeds. I don't give a crap what Pretty Ricky, you could call them. What are you doing about it? You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of people who call on Jesus, but then when you look at what they do the opposite of what this Jesus said. It's like, well, I'd rather I don't care what you call them, than do what it said. Love your neighbors yourself. Be righteous in the unrighteous world. Do the next right thing. Try to help one. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. Try to be a hand to pull someone up. Try to battle your flesh and transgressions. Try to be a light in this dark world. You know them by their fruit. That's what's about. Because these dark serpents, these Epsteins, these serpent seeds, these bloodline families, right? I got another lesson that's going to come out. It's going to be dope, tying into all the bloodline. Oh, I got it all. It's coming. Yo, watch. That's why I'm about to go live more. That's why I wrapped it up. We used to only go live Wednesday and Friday. Now I'm going to go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because I got so much to bring out. I'm going to tie it all together, all the way back, all the way forward, and showing it all with receipts. And these dark serpents, they're congruent. They're on one accord. They're ahad. They're one with their darkness. They're legion of many, and they serve their devils, their gods well. There's many gods, right? You could call it, there's thousands of gods, okay? So you could call it whatever God, right? But they serve their God well, and they ain't lukewarm in their darkness that they serve. They serve them all truth to power, truth to dark power. Do you understand? Dark truth to dark power. Everything has a kalalaya, a completion to itself. Everything is made in a completion. So wherever there's light, there's darkness. Wherever there's good, there's bad. There's a completion, right? right? So they serve theirs to the fullness. It's just us who kind of some of us are served the light. We get a little lukewarm and gray area, right? We get what you call watered down. But these darkness, oh, they serve their devils, they serve their gods to the fullest, and they don't play with it either. You heard? They hold truth to power, and they do the works of their father, the Hasatan, the adversary, the devil, these dark spirits. And they've been doing this since antiquity, since the fall of mankind. You understand? Since the fall, since man has become congruent to be for his dark side, for his darkness. We are called to destroy the darkness within us. You understand? With our free will to destroy. Choose to be righteous. Choose to be light. Choose to do the next right thing. It could be hard sometime in this world because the desires of the flesh, the lust is calling and it pulls you, you know what I mean, to do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? It's easier to do the wrong thing in this dark second world. But a wise, stronger person, it shows your strength when you do the right thing, when it's easier to do the wrong thing. You heard? It's that part, right? So that's all we care about. We ain't no religious nothing. We are the children of the Most High. And we have a relationship with our Creator. And we just call his name Yah because we believe in the Safari Yah that they call the Bible. But we welcome you. You could believe in the Quran. You could believe in the library of Ashurbanipal, the Vedas, the whatever. I don't give a crap what you believe in. You can believe in nothing. You can believe in the expanse of nothing. I want to see, what are you doing on this earth? What are your fruit? Are you more righteous than unrighteous? You understand? I'm only going to know that by your actions, your works. You know them by what they do, not what they say. I could miss me with what you say. Fruit. That's why if you go back, well, y'all don't got to, but if you go back in this channel, you say, I've been doing this for years, and it ain't nothing. You have people coming, it's a cult, no, it's a devil's a lie. We got people from every nation, kindred, and tongue, years that have been met us 5 years ago that's thanking me. They came 18 years old, now they 23 and 24 and doing better. And thank you, Uncle, for your teaching and just staying consistent, staying righteous in an unrighteous world. You understand? That's where you know by the fruit, the works that you have done. That's what speaks of the true person. Show me your fruit and consistency. Do you understand? Everybody. Now, yes, children of the light. That's who we are. That's it. Children of the light, the great, the righteousness. Let your righteous works outdo your unrighteous acts. And that's what the children need to know, because these devils, this Epstein, these clowns, these devils on the world, they're trying to incorporate the children into darkness. That's why they all in the kindergarten, in the schools, and they like, nobody has a gender no more. And you can be whatever you want. Do what you wilt is the whole of law. You can be a furry, you can be a dish, you could be a devil, and they want to have all that because they want to indoctrinate the children into this darkness. And you see from this Epstein lesson tonight, they're using the AI stuff, right? That's what this thing was about, guys. It's so deep and it's like not new. Do you understand? But the Most High, but the Creator of all things never leave us without a warning. Okay? Always, he always gonna have righteous children who's gonna warn you, right? The danger of our generation is not that darkness exists. The danger is that the darkness has been remade, recloaked, reimagined. Okay? Now, what once used to be feared is now being admired, right? What once used to be forbidden is now being defended. That's why you have people, come on, Jocelyn, you have people come to this live and defend Epstein. Someone came here and said, Epstein is innocent and this, and right? That's the darkness. That's the danger of today. What once was hidden beneath the waters, the marine kingdom, now actually walks openly on the land. Okay? Now, all right. Good night, brothers and sisters. Shout out Spoon Spooky. I'm out of here too. May the Most High cover and bless you all. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this live stream. Shout out to Bug Juice over on Facebook. We live again Wednesday, 9 p.m. Y'all see the thing? Come on in and enjoy. It's gonna be a dope lesson. I gotta go teach. We got a Bible study on Zoom right now. All right, may the Most High cover and bless you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Hakiyama, for assisting me. Thank you to the ministry for welcoming everybody new. May the Most High cover and bless you all. We'll see you Wednesday about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, be light in this dark world. All right, we out of here. May the Most High cover and bless you all. Have a great night.